Hey everybody, welcome back to Cineflex. My name is Manny,
I'm Juan.
and today we're gonna talk about our review. In this video, we're gonna review Jordan Peele's Us, which is his new horror, supernatural thriller, psychological thriller movie. He was the one who directed Get Out, which was last year or 2 years ago. Might have been last year, huh? It feels soon.
It feels soon, but I don't know if it was
within the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Which I was a huge fan of. I really liked Get Out, and. Yeah, so we haven't usually when we do these videos we've both seen the movie, we didn't see it together, and we haven't talked about it. So that's why we try to do it these videos like that to make the conversation more organic. Warning, it's gonna be spoiler filled review because there's actually no way to talk about this movie without having some spoilers, especially having a full on conversation because in order to get our thoughts across. But yeah,
I thought it was good up to a certain point.
yeah. So what were like your first thoughts like when the movie ended, like leaving, like what were...
Leaving the first thought I had was that it did more than it had to do. To me, it felt like if they were planning this movie out and they had a good idea, and then they're like, "Oh, what if we do this?"
Like they kept adding stuff. Like
yeah.
yeah. I get you there. I had a feeling like that too. I had a feeling like that in the middle of the movie, kind of towards the end, because it was about just that one family. I thought this was just gonna be that one family, right? And then the other family, the white family. That was pretty cool. I really liked that because it was a surprise.
Out of nowhere,
yeah, it was nice and quiet. No, it wasn't like a jump scare kind of thing. It was just
you right just there. Saw it. It's like just seeing it from.
But then when they said, "Oh, how many more of other people are there going to be there?" and they turn on the TV and it's this whole thing, and then I was like, "Oh, it's going to be a whole government conspiracy thing or the whole zombie," and I was like, "It's going to be too much," and I don't want it to be too much, or otherwise it's going to like ruin the. How it's only like that one thing. We're only following that one family. And if you make it too big, I feel like it's kind of risky. But at the end, it kind of worked because you still don't have all the questions answered. Yeah. So you still have questions. I think that was his point.
I kind of thought it was not necessarily bad. It's just, to me, I kind of didn't like that there was so many questions left.
I think that's what he was going for, though. That's what he wanted, like to people, so we can have these conversations, so people can talk about it. That's what he wanted.
I could see it, but
because there was obviously a lot of the stuff in this movie doesn't make sense at the end.
It doesn't. I felt like she contradicted herself quite a lot throughout the movie, from the first conversation they have when she shows up.
Oh, the mom.
To the later on, like
her mom is her mom's name. Let's get the names. There it goes. Adelaide Wilson? That's the...
Adelaide.
Yeah, her name is Lupita. Yes. So what about Adelaide?
So not Adelaide, because Adelaide would be the actual mom. I'm talking about the other one. The
Red?
Red. So when she shows up and she starts, like, they have the family captured, she starts explaining things.
Yeah.
And from what she explains there, contradicts what happens later on. When they're fighting against each other. No. Was it when they're fighting? I forgot. When they're
obviously when she's explaining it, I think that whole thing was just
it was kind of like a metaphor, yeah, because of the way she was explaining it. But
the twist being
a lot of it.
But the twist is she's the real one.
Yeah, which I actually predicted.
Everybody predicted that. Everybody in the world predicted
that too.
And that was one thing about.
I was like, I don't think it was that hard to predict this.
Obviously, if you're watching this, if you've seen the movie, if you're watching this, you have watched the movie. But I'm sure you predicted that. In the beginning, when the little girl sees the other girl,
that early.
Yeah, well, a lot of people
kind of like halfway through. Then I was
like, oh, you know what? They might have switched. But then, so he knows we're gonna have those thoughts. But then, as we see Adelaide throughout the movie, we're like, is she though? Because she seems pretty normal. Yeah, that's the thing. He convinced us back a little bit, saying maybe not, maybe we're wrong.
Exactly the same thing happened.
Because she seems so normal. Like, she had a whole family.
I had that thought, and then I was like, oh, maybe not.
Exactly.
But it wasn't that hard, because I wasn't the only one.
Maybe that's why he felt like he needed to have like a couple twists in there.
I didn't think with that was necessary though, because like you were explaining, like once it became a thing of like everywhere, to me it was like it's just too much. To me now you have to explain it. Yeah. Right. Before that, even if you didn't explain anything before about where these people came from, it was perfectly fine because it keeps that thriller aspect to it. It keeps that like.
Speaking of thriller, Michael Jackson
intensity.
Thriller, references.
Yeah. It keeps the intensity in it. And a good example to that is, for example, the Purge.
Oh, The Purge.
Have you watched any of those?
Yeah, I've seen them all.
Well, and in the first one, it's just about the one family.
Yeah.
I thought the first one was the best out of all of them because it just centered on that one family.
Yeah.
And it's like you're rooting for this family who's just fighting in this one house. It's all concentrated in there. And then in the second movie, it turns into everywhere.
Yeah.
Like you're out in the streets and it's happening everywhere. And to me, it's like it's no longer a thriller movie. It's like an action movie.
Yeah.
And
I see what you mean. But as far as the thriller part of the movie, I thought it did very well. Psychological thriller. The whole movie, it's quiet. It's a lot of quiet. The music was good. The music was awesome, especially the I Got Five on a remix at the end.
Yeah.
The scary version.
Yeah, I thought the movie did very well.
Because throughout the whole movie, you feel like something's not right, and you think it's just about like, oh. I think the main point of the movie is for you to think that when she sees the other person, that's when like something happened and like she like unlocked something. Yeah. Or you think it was like some magical power kind of thing, or some mystical voodoo or curse kind of thing like she unlocked or something. That's what you think. You never thought that it wasn't just going to be like this whole thing about the government, which it wasn't answered. We don't know why that entire people were cloned. We think it's
they said why.
They said they were cloned and they were trying to
they were doing it to try and control people,
but it didn't work out because they have the same soul, and then they just forgot about them. So they don't say exactly who did it though. We assume it's the government, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't assume it was the government, but they don't say.
Yeah, they don't say.
They do say. She just says humans figured out a way to do this.
Right, exactly.
It didn't work out and they left us.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of clues throughout the whole movie. Like if you think back, there's a bunch of like little hidden meanings about everything about the bunnies and little clues. Like
despite the fact that at the end there's a lot of questions, there is a lot of answers as well.
Yeah.
But
I think especially if we choose to never see it again, we will see it with like different eyes now, and then we're gonna notice a lot of things and have some of our questions answered. But
yeah,
overall, as a thriller, as a suspenseful movie, I thought it did very well. Did you like it more than Get Out, or did you like Get Out more?
I like Get Out.
Yeah, I like Get Out a lot more than this one.
But
this one was good. I mean, it was good. I mean, I would recommend everybody to go see, especially someone who doesn't. Like, I would want to watch this movie again with someone who hasn't seen it, of course, to get just to see how they think and how they perceive things, because it's one of those movies where you want to show people that haven't seen it before.
Yeah, but for example, in Get Out is also a psychological thriller.
Yeah,
and the difference is in that one, it also gets to a point where it kind of loses it, but to me, at the same time, it keeps it because it's still centered.
Yeah, it's so
it's still there, like.
It's just that one family.
It's just that one family. It's all there.
We're invested in that.
You're still kind of afraid for him and the things that he's going through. Whereas over here is like, okay, now it's everybody. It's happening everywhere. And they're not really fighting anyone anymore. They're kind of trying to get away.
Yeah.
But they're not really fighting anyone anymore. Like they're just running away up until the point where she has to go and rescue her.
And in Get Out, I feel like, and when this one, you throughout the whole movie, you're thinking about certain things and you have these theories, and you more so you're kind of right. You have one of your theories are right as you're watching the movie. In Get Out, I feel like I didn't have like an idea of what was going on. Like I didn't know like at the end of Get Out, who haven't seen it, like she was controlling them, hypnotizing them, and that's what it was. Like I didn't guess that. Did you guess that? No. Was that even a theory from you from Get Out? No, exactly. That's why I also made it a good twist, and then it's the same thing with this one. You're kind of thinking about what's going to be the twist, because I feel like that's going to be his thing now.
Yeah, despite the fact that I saw the twist coming, I still liked it.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I really liked it.
I just felt like, to me, the biggest thing is that it went from something small into something so big. Yeah. And to me, it felt like if you had just kept it as that one family, that would have been perfectly fine. Like, you didn't have to go crazy with it.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't have to go crazy.
So complicated.
But at the same time, it could have been a lot worse than it was. I mean, it wasn't that badly executed, but I feel like, I wanted to just...
It wasn't badly executed. It was just too much, in my opinion. Like, it was so much that...
And it raises a lot of questions. Like, how did they... how did Red, which is the original, who got stuck down there, how did she coordinate all of this? How did she get everybody the red suits, the gloves, the scissors? How did she get everybody to do it?
Yeah, like I was telling Shirley, because she was asking me a bunch of questions like this. I was like, those are questions you don't ask, because it's like, she's like, how did they get clothes? How did they get this? And I was like, You don't ask those.
Yeah, I get it. Those are, and I can live with that. I can live with the inconsistencies of that because it was a
those are a
fun
bunch
movie.
of little things.
Yeah,
Like whatever.
but some questions are actually kind of need some answer. Like she didn't know English. I mean, she knew English because of
she was born here.
she was born here, but she was raspy because she got crushed. Her throat got crushed. That's why her voice was raspy throughout the whole.
Yeah, that's what. I figured it was that plus the fact that she's been down there and the only one that can speak.
Yeah, exactly. But you would, because you would think she'd be able to teach some of the people down there English, but I guess not.
I don't know if they can learn or not.
I don't exactly. I don't know if they can learn, but at the same time, like how's she gonna teach them when they're busy mimicking their real.
And that was another.
Their tether. That's what they call them. Their tether.
And the whole tether thing, like I said, when she first shows up, when she's talking about the tether, she's saying that the girls were tethered, and then the tether was severed or something like that. No, but yeah, saying that they're tethered.
Right.
And she wants to break the tether. Now, later on in the movie, when she explains what happened, she says that they're not tethered.
What do you mean they're not tethered?
That the experiment failed, so they're not tethered.
Oh, but
it looks as if they are tethered.
They are tethered in a sense when they made the clones, the government wanted to control the person, but they couldn't because they share the same soul, and the person that's like up here in real life, they're the ones that are in control because they're the ones that are more empowered. They have the freedom. They're right behind the wheel, so they both have control over the wheel, kind of thing.
But one's more than the other.
But one more than the other because they actually have a sense of like, oh, they're empowered because we have free will, we have free thinking. Other than, I mean, despite the other people who live down there in the tunnels who actually have nothing around them, like what are they gonna do?
And also
another thing.
I feel like her reasons.
How did they live down there? How did they survive? They said they ate bunnies and stuff.
Yeah.
But how much bunnies? What did they drink? Where did they go to the bathroom?
Yeah, I don't know.
And how did she give birth to them?
She said she did it herself. She cut herself.
Oh, no, the person above had a C-section.
Yeah, and then she said, and then I did it.
But wouldn't that mean there was a doctor down there giving the C-section? I don't know. I guess it doesn't mean that everybody is cloned, right? Yeah. It doesn't mean that because they stopped the experiment.
I don't know. I think everybody that is down there was cloned.
Yeah, right. But that doesn't mean that everybody living... When the movie takes place present day, that every citizen present day has a clone. It doesn't mean everybody. It's just certain people.
I would think not, but at what point did they stop making clones? Because it looked as if in the past they had already stopped making them.
Yeah.
So then how did the kids come out? How did
what kids? The kids and
the kids.
Well, because they had. He meets the same guy.
Have the same children.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I kind of get it at the same
time.
Like
those kids down there, they're half clones, half real.
Yeah, I guess. But like I said, to me, those are questions you don't ask.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's fun to ask.
I mean, it's fun to talk about it. But I mean, to actually want an answer. So.
Exactly. There is a crazy theory out there. I don't know how crazy it is, but the son, Jason, there was the theory that he's been switched because he's so weird in the movie. There's a theory that he was switched and stuff like that. That he's actually the one we follow in the movie. That he's actually a tether. I think he was just weird. Yeah. Because yeah, I get there was something a little bit off or whatever, but I think he's just one of those kids. I mean, he lost his grandma, whatever. That's what they mentioned. But his tether, the one that had his burned face. One thing I read that it was interesting was he had a burned face because the person on the Jason. The original was playing with that magic trick that was a lighter, so that means his tether was playing with something, but all he had was matches. So he kept turning on that match every time he was trying to do the magic trick, and he burned his face. Otherwise, how would he burn his face?
Well, she said he liked playing with fire.
Yeah, and she said he was born in fire, but I'm pretty sure that's not literally.
Yeah, she was just giving a bunch of metaphors.
But that doesn't mean that he likes to play with fire, but he didn't on his own free will. Lit something and burned himself. I'm saying Jason had to have done something for him to do that.
Yeah and no, because they can still do things without having to copy the other person. That's why they're doing everything that they're doing. There is a certain level of shadowing. There's a certain level of it, but it's not a lot. And I feel like maybe the kid figured out a way to to make him do as he did.
That's why to burn himself alive at the end.
And then there's probably is a way to make your tether actually do what you're doing, but from everything that they were showing, like the people that were tethered underneath, they were just kind of barely doing it.
I guess you're right, because they otherwise, how did they all decide to come up from the tunnels on their own free will, kind of thing?
Like she says, they chose her to lead them because she was like different than all of them.
Yeah. But yeah, everything.
But her reasons, there's another thing at it. This is, I guess, the one thing I really don't like, because the other ones are just little problems I have, but they're like whatever. But the one thing I didn't like were her reasons to do what she was doing.
What do you mean?
Like she said she was doing it because, like, never at any point does she say who she is. Oh. And it's like, did you forget? Like,
well, I mean, like, she was there at a young. What happened? I mean, you got to say, like, what, 30 years passed? She was down there, at least 30 years. Because she was. How old do you think she was when they got switched? Less than 10, maybe. Around 10 at the most. At least 25 years she was down there. I mean, most of her life is what she learned down there. And when she was down there, she was tethered. She was just doing everything that
I understand, but like
Adeline was doing.
Yeah, but
Adelaide.
but her reasons and everything she says is coming from a point of like, which once again I get it, because she feels like she belongs there now, and those are her people. But she's saying it like you guys, like, we're human too. Like, you are human. You're human. And also like saying we want to break the tether and like this and that, and it's to me it kind of felt like those were their reasons, not hers.
Right, but like, I mean, at that point she was raised by her environment. She was raised by that environment instead of the environment where she could have had up here.
Yeah, I guess. And I guess it works for, like I said, for everything they added. Like, had they just kept it with just a family, then her reason should have been like, I want revenge. Like, you took from me what was mine.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, but I think at that point her mind was just so corrupted.
Yeah.
I mean, 25 years. Maybe if it was like a few years.
Yeah.
But a whole living down there, looking at people like that, eating rabbits. Yeah. I'm pretty sure she's fucked up. Exactly how we saw her. I'm pretty sure that's how it's supposed to be. But all in all, I'm sure this is exactly what he wanted us to do at the end, to watch the movie, discuss it, be mad about it, be happy about certain things. Yeah. And I think he executed that very well. Overall, and then a lot of jump scares, which was cool. I mean, there were some jump scares, but overall, for it to be like a horror movie, I was glad it didn't have as much as I thought it was gonna have.
I didn't think it was gonna be scary in any way.
I mean, well, it's
yeah, like a little creepy maybe.
It was creepy. I mean,
the,
it's creepy.
Visuals, but other than
kept you thinking at the end. It's scary. It's scary. And wouldn't you be scared if you saw your own doppelganger exactly anything like you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being treated.
Well, this turned out to more of a discussion than a freaking review. Again, because we haven't talked about it before, and then with a movie
how can we?
Yeah, with a movie like this, it just brings up a lot of discussion. But overall, I mean, I liked it. I definitely recommend watching it. I'm sure you would too, right? Recommend watching it. You liked it.
Yeah, but I feel like I probably didn't like it as much as you did. But once again, I don't think it was bad in any way.
Yeah.
It's just that to me, it kind of lost me. Like, it took a little bit of the interest. It took a little bit of what I thought it was doing really good, and then it just kind of went a little too far.
Yeah, I've seen people. I see people online that loved it. I mean, I didn't love it. I thought it was really good. I loved Get Out. I didn't love this one, but I thought it was still pretty good. I mean, he's only got 2 movies. He's got Get Out and Us. I mean, it's another good movie that he's gonna have on his resume.
Yeah.
And well, I don't know what else he's gonna have out there, but I mean, I'm sure he made a boatload of money. I think I already made like $70 million.
Cool.
So I'm sure he's gonna continue on doing horror movies, even though he's like a.
I heard somewhere that he wanted, that they're in the same universe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was,
and that there's gonna be another one that's also in the same universe, but I don't know how they connect in any way.
I mean, there would have to be another movie showing the connection, which I don't know, it might be a little reach to show that in one movie. But if he's doing like a trilogy,
there should have been connections already.
Yeah,
like something that kind of shows you. But I guess maybe he's doing it in a way that they take place in the same universe, but they're not connected.
Yeah, I mean, he can have a bunch of movies that are happening in the same universe, and they're just this is his world. Stuff like happening in this world. I mean,
individuals.
People do it all the time in movies, and authors do that in their books, where it's like there's a bunch of stories, but this is all happened. It all happened in the same world, kind of thing. They don't have to necessarily intertwine with each other and like meet.
Yeah,
that's cool. But yeah, all right. That concludes our discussion. I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff, a bunch of questions we forgot, and that could have been discussed. If you have those questions, please leave it in the comment below, and we'll respond to those too, because I'm sure they're interesting. Yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Give us a like. See you guys.